all. Welcome back to another episode of Mouse Hairs and Magical Chats. I'm Mary Beth. I'm here with just Jess.
Bright
Has a
suns.
great smile right now.
Bright suns.
So Jenny's not with us. She's actually at Disney World.
Jenny's at Disney World.
I know it's been a hot minute for her. She's done a lot of Disney stuff, but not Disney World, like our home base. So
Mhm.
she's getting right back into it. She's hoping to ride Guardians twice tonight.
I'm excited to hear all about it. She always has different, like strategy stuff that I like
Yeah.
to hear about.
And she was checking out Standby Skipper, and she was like just trying out all the. She hasn't used Lightning Lane, I don't think.
Yeah, she's been doing multipass, and she saw Starlight Parade the other night.
Oh,
And I have not asked her about it on text because I want to talk about it here because I'm very excited about this.
yes. All right. And if you check out our Instagram, I just put some. Well, I guess stories will be gone by the time you get here. So I'm just gonna cut this part.
Highlights, make them highlights.
Yes, highlights. Check out the highlights. But so today we are not here to talk about Walt Disney World. We are here to talk about a Walt Disney cruise.
Disney Cruise Line, we love you.
Yes. So last episode, if you're with us, Jess had taken a Mediterranean cruise through Disney, and we were talking all about Disney Fantasy because that is the cruise ship she went on. We are going to talk a little bit more about it and then talk about the excursions. So, Jess, what I heard was someone wanted to know how much time did you spend in the room compared to how much time you spent out.
Yeah, we love it when fans of the show reach out and ask questions by asking me while I'm doing dishes in our home that we share together. Um, thank you for listening. Yeah, so we had a balcony room. We booked that GTY veranda like room category. We got a great room assigned. We were really lucky. Loved our room. I did not spend that much time in the room. I think the room was great. And I don't know, like our room attendants are magic. We would leave the room for a short time and come back and it was fully made up and like the beds were made. We had towel art. I don't know how they knew our room attendant.
They're super stealth.
They're amazing. And they so nice. Like, ugh, love them. But I didn't spend that much time in the room. And like I don't remember if I talked about this in the last episode. I didn't even really shower in the room that often because I was like up in the spa all the time and their showers.
Right. I was like,
I didn't shower. Yeah.
I didn't shower. I
Not
forgot
big on it.
all those cool showers were up there.
Yeah, the showers up there were so big and like they had nice shampoo and stuff in there and I don't know. But the
Was it
bathroom,
different than what's in your room?
yeah. Yeah, because they have the I can't remember what the line is in the census spa, but they had like the nice spa stuff. And I love the that I'm not H2O, but I'm H2O stuff they have in the rooms. That's great too and like reminds me of being at the parks or being in the resorts at Walt Disney World, but I wasn't in the room that much. And I had my like manic first time on this ship, like vacation excitement where as long as my feet allowed, I was kind of like running around the ship just to see it all. And like, I don't know. I have a hard time just sitting on the balcony. I did a little bit, but it was really just like a little bit. My mom spent more time in the room because she was having some issues walking. So it was really great to have the veranda and it was nice to sit out there and enjoy it. But I remember like when we got off, when we were kind of mid cruise or whatever, I do remember feeling like if it was a budget call that had to be made, like, can I go on a cruise but I have to have an interior room or like a porthole or do I wait and like not go but save for a veranda in the future? I think for this sailing or like maybe even the Caribbean sailings, I would have been fine without the veranda. Now, I would probably, yeah, you disagree. Alaska, I would want a veranda or like the Norwegian fjords, but
No, my big thing is the germs. If the germs hit the ship, I don't want to be stuck in my windowless room. I want to be able to open up the balcony and be sick, but still see stuff, or at
yeah,
least feel like I'm not trapped. I feel like my interior room was back in my 20s.
yeah, we've left that behind us.
I have left that behind me.
Yeah. No, it's a fair point, like, the fresh air. Yeah, I probably am being like, "You don't know what you've got until it's gone," about the veranda right now, like, I would
Girl, have you
probably miss
done
it.
interior rooms before?
No. Oh, go no. I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'm all about that balcony life now.
Yeah. I guess because like, on this sailing, there wasn't much to see. I don't know.
You
And,
know,
like
I find just the ocean itself super interesting because, like, we have a lake and you
Mhm,
can see the
the other
other
side.
side
Yeah.
and you just keep seeing nothing. And, like, at night, it's almost terrifying. And I like sitting out there because it's just like this darkness
Big
that, like,
nothing.
again, you never see, like, just no lights and darkness. And it's interesting.
Mhm.
To me,
Yeah.
that's interesting. You got your book, you have your coffee in the morning, you have your drink at night. It's great.
Coffee on the veranda was, like, really nice. The ports and this can kinda segue, I guess, to our port adventures that we did. The ports, like, the first day I'm trying to think, I think both of them, we were already docked by the time I woke up. We had pretty early port arrivals at both of we had 2 port days, and they were both, like, very industrial, and the first day, I think our room was, like, I don't know, it was just seemed very, like, stinky and industrial, like, just, it was like a shipyard, like, it was or like a
Okay. Like, you guys park where, like, all, like, the big cargo ships are coming in?
it felt like that. It felt like that. I don't know. It just wasn't I didn't really want to sit when we were stopped, when we were, like, docked.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't wanna sit on the veranda really and, like, drink my coffee. I don't know. We were on port side. Maybe it was different for the starboard side people, I don't know. But when we were sailing, fine. But, like, I don't those mornings, I didn't really wanna sit out there. But
Gonna watch all the workers. It could have been, like, your own
well,
drama.
when we left Civitavecchia, I've already forgotten how to say it. We were, like, waiting to leave, and this pilot boat came into the port and, like, went right by, and I was outside, and I'm waving to the guy, and he took a minute, and then I think he saw me, and he's like, "Fine, I'll wave to you." Like, he was, like, on the pilot boat coming by. So, yes, I did do that a little bit. When you're on boats, you wave, right? Isn't that a thing?
I think so. I think you did
I
the
do
right
it too.
thing.
And apparently our ship, like, crossed a MSC ship or something at some point and did a horn sound off where the Disney ship did the cool Disney,
Yeah, way
like,
better.
When You Wish Upon a Star and stuff, and then the MSC one was just like, "Honk."
I gotta say Disney, like, just does it better on that one.
Yeah.
Like, you're never gonna win that one.
Nope. Yeah, I know, it was like a beat down. It wasn't even fair. Yeah.
So, give me a rundown of the ports you went to.
Yeah, so we just had 2 port days. The first day we were in Livorno, Italy, and from there you can go to Pisa to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and that was the closest kinda thing, like, famous thing, and that was 30 minutes away from port, and Florence was the other big one, and that was, like, an hour away from Livorno, and we this is the day we did the Cinque Terre kind of tour where we went Cinque Terre is, like, the inspiration for Luca. I can talk about that here because 'cause we're Disney people.
Yes.
So it's that beautiful, like, seaside village situation, and so there are 5 of these towns along the seacoast, and we booked an excursion. There were 8 of us and our driver, and she took us kind of, we were in the car a lot, frankly, but in a good way on this day. There was a lot to see, and that was part of it, and we would stop and do photo spots. She was really great. She would point things out to us like there are the marble mountains where like the really famous marble comes from for the countertops. And so I don't know, like the white marble. And look at this is where you can see like the traditional, farms that are on the terrace on the side of the
Oh, cool.
mountains. And you can see like they have almost little roller coaster like setups. This is a picture of the farmer who's like getting into his little cart. We can probably use that
Okay,
here.
yeah, we'll put it up.
She stopped and was like, "That's the one." Like, there's like they have on the mountainside because there are these steep, hillsides, and they do terrace farming into the land, and it's like the traditional way of farming, and they have to use these kind of roller coaster tracks and these little carts, and that's how the farmer gets, like, up and down the mountain, and she was just saying how it's like a dying craft now because younger people, like, it's really hard work, and it's physical, and it's like, people don't wanna do it. It's intense, and so there's less and less of it, but there are a lot of olive farms like that, and I think we saw lemons and other things, but lots of, like, just beautiful scenery and, yeah, all these beautiful towns with just very colorful buildings, and I had fun exploring, just running around, and yeah, that was a fun day.
So you chose not to use Disney's excursions. What made you go with that choice?
Yeah, it was a risky one.
Right? Because you do run the risk of, like, if you're on a Disney excursion, right? Like, and something happens, they will wait for you. Isn't that kind of
They're
idea?
guaranteed to wait for you. If you book through the cruise line, through DCL, you do one of their adventures, port adventures, you are guaranteed they'll wait for you. There are situations where, like, they can't hold the ship, but they will get you at their cost, get you back to the ship, wherever it is. Like, you will meet it at the next thing. I booked a private tour company for both days, the Rome day also, the same company, and they offer a guarantee that they will guarantee they'll get you back to your ship in time. And so it's similar. It probably is clunkier if you miss your ship because it's just always like tidier and more elegant if you stay with Disney and they take excellent care of you. But with this one, they do guarantee. So, like, if for some reason you miss it and it's their, their issue, they will shoulder the cost of getting you back to your ship or whatever you need to do. And there's, like, always a lot of fine print, right? And there is a little bit of risk that there's just stuff, right? When you're traveling internationally, like, roads can be closed for whatever reason. There can be really bad accidents or a transit strike that messes things up if you go on your own and you're using public transportation and then suddenly they go on strike and now there are no trains running and all Ubers are like $800 for a ride back to port. Not fun. Then you're wishing you booked with Disney. uh, but I just felt I did a lot of research, like I always do, tons and tons of research, and I let what the appeal was for me on doing the private tour company. I will be honest, it was a little bit of budget. It is just less expensive than going through Disney for this, and that was a bit of a factor. This was a very last minute trip, and we were wanting to do things, but also, like, hadn't had time to save toward this trip, so we were just trying to balance the things. And the big thing for me was that it was smaller. It was a smaller group at not like private tour price. Because through Disney, you can book a very small group like private tour or a private tour, but it's expensive. And with this, it was one of those like little Mercedes kind of minibus situations where it was 6 to 8 other passengers and the driver.
Mm.
And it was really air conditioned and like very nice and clean. And I just prefer that smaller bus to the coach bus situation that they have through the cruise line. I think I wouldn't hesitate to book through Disney for a port adventure. And it might be different if I have my kids with me. But as two adults,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think every time it'll be like its own decision to make based on what the situation is in each of these places at the time. But we had a really good experience, and yeah, I would use
So
this
you
tour
would
over again.
recommend this company?
Yeah, I would. It was italytours.eu was the website, and I just like I said, I did tons and tons of research and emailed with them a bunch before we paid anything for anything, and yeah, I had a good experience. Our drivers on both days, they're technically drivers. They don't call them tour guides. Like, I think tour guide has a official connotation to it that you're like a trained tour guide. Like, it's just different than being a driver. But our drivers were local people who spoke English, who do this all the time, right? And can like tell you all the things. And they were both lovely people, really took good care of us and were flexible and just, yeah, really good experience. And so Rome is like not where the port is. You're pretty far from Rome, but this is the way it goes, right? This is the Civitavecchia. Someone please correct me because I'm sure I'm wrong. I really had it when I was just fresh off the boat, but now it's gone. You drive like an hour and a half, I want to say, into Rome, like maybe close to 2 hours. When we were going and it was like morning rush hour on a weekday, it felt like a long time getting into town. But then we just, oh my gosh, we booked Best of Rome tour through this company and it was like boom, 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 like just checking stuff off. And so not a lot of depth, but that's okay. Like it was really kind of meant to be just see all the things and someday come back and spend time if that is what we want to do. But like I can say I saw the Spanish Steps and the Colosseum and the Sistine Chapel and like the Pantheon, all like a lot of things, the Trevi Fountain. So it wasn't like we went to the Vatican Museum. Literally, I pushed my mother in the wheelchair through the Vatican Museum. It was like a race. Like I was like flying through there, like dodging tourists, like pilgrims. Like I'm like, people are there on their like holy pilgrimage. And I'm like, coming through, like lady pushing her mom, because we had to get to the Sistine Chapel. It was 900 degrees in there, maybe hotter, like 100% humid. It was so hot. There's no air conditioning, right, in these places, and that's fine. But it was so hot, like it was so hot. And so we were kind of just hauling to get into the Sistine Chapel because that's where we wanted to like actually pause and have a moment to just look. The Vatican Museum was incredible. I mean, there's just endless like reading and looking and like
Mm.
it's incredible museum. This was not the trip for that. And if I ever do that, I will be going when the weather's cooler and I can not pass
You're not
out.
gonna melt.
Yeah. So we really just made a decision like right now, the goal of this is to see the Sistine Chapel. All the rest of this is just kind of like, okay, like see you next time. We're just kind of flying through there. And the Sistine Chapel was amazing. And you're not allowed to take photos inside the Sistine Chapel. Someone on our cruise in the like cruise WhatsApp group shared a photo they had sort of clandestinely taken. And so that was nice. But, there are pictures on the internet. Like it was really nice to like just look and not have
Yeah.
a million phones kind of blocking us looking. And it did feel different. It was nice to be in like a place where it wasn't all about the Instagram shot because even being at Sagrada Familia in Barcelona prior to our cruise, that there was a lot of space in there and people were respectful, but there was a lot of like Instagram posing happening and it felt different, like being in another holy place very close together, like one
Yeah.
with cameras and one without. I definitely felt the difference. And it was neat. Yeah. And we had a tour guide there in the Vatican. We had a separate person like booked through the same excursion that they set it up. Like we told them we want a guided tour at the Vatican. And so we had a tour guide, like our driver brought us to this other
Perfect.
person. Yeah.
I
And
want that too.
he came with us. We did the guided tour at Sagrada Familia too. And that was really great. And it's not that much more at the end of the
Mhm.
day, like when you're spending whatever. And this guy was really knowledgeable and like very passionate about the art and the stories that the art was telling. And I would love to like spend a full day with him in that space because I could tell he like really cared about it a lot. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it was just so hot and like our crew was kind of spent by the end of it, and we didn't spend a ton of time there, but we got to do. I love the Trevi Fountain. That's like just the most. I did the Instagram picture thing at the Trevi Fountain and was very glad. And they had a good crowd flow system there where the way they moved people through it so everybody could go and see it and toss the coin in and take a picture and then kind of exit orderly. Like it was really nice how they handled it. There was someone on the exit, and I'm like the logistics old advanced work person, seeing all this and like being like, yes, good job. I appreciate what you're doing here. They had somebody at the exit and they had like the counters. So whenever people left, then they would let that number of people come in.
Oh,
So there was like a set capacity and it felt like a good number where you could move your body and you could take a picture and you could like experience it and not just be like crushed by people. So that was nice. And we had lunch in Rome. We sat and ate lunch at some place near the Pantheon that we just picked. We didn't go inside there or the Colosseum, and we did not go to St. Peter's Square at the Vatican. So there were like, choices were made, but the Colosseum was really impressive.
You didn't wanna pretend you're the gladiator?
Next time, I think if I go with my kids, I'd like to go inside. I would like to do like but
I want
that's
you to stand in the middle and be like, "Are you not entertained?"
it's wild. People used to like feed other people to animals, to lions.
Anytime we get into, like, old time stuff where, like, there was torture, not that there isn't torture in the world now, but,
Truth.
just reading about, like, what humans could do to humans is crazy.
Wild. And like, tens of thousands of people sat there and ate that right up. It's
Yes!
wild.
Like, it was completely cool, and that's what we did on Saturday night.
Yep. Yep. And enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, we have our troubles in these days, but boy, that was like fascinating to
This is why we go
remember.
to Disney.
Yeah, right. Did not happen at Disney, except for a couple seagull attacks once in a while.
And, that's fine. If you get pooped on, it's good luck. Good call.
Yeah, so our port days were great. Both days, like the Rome day, we got back to the ship, I want to say 2 hours before all aboard. And I liked that. Like, I
Yeah,
think
that feels comfortable.
I felt good. I did not feel stressed about time. I was happy to be on, like, there wasn't a line at all to get back on the ship. It was very easy. There was no like waiting. We could just walk back, we walked back on, scanned our thing, went through the security thing. They have everybody sanitize their hands when they get back on, like right before you get back on. They use
Kill
hand
those
sanitizer,
germies.
which was cool. And they gave us like they had cups of water and they had the like warm towels if you were cool to I don't know. I didn't take it because my hands were so full of things and I was trying to like tip the driver and whatever. But it was nice, like smooth experience. It didn't feel stressful. And then we were back on board before everybody started coming, so I was able to, like, go up to the rainforest room, take a shower, like, enjoy that, like, relaxation time
Mhm.
before whatever the schedule was that was, like, kicking in for the evening stuff, so it was good. I think, like, with this sailing, it was short. It was 5 nights. We only had 2 port days. We had 2 sea days. Wouldn't trade a sea day for another port day. Like some of these sailings that are 12 nights and they have like 9 port days, 5 of them in a row without a break. Like our 2 port days were back to back and I was tired and
Yeah.
I was so appreciative of the ship. Like I've talked about how it felt like we were doing Europe, like being kind of like cradled from each of these places. And like my 20-year-old 20 something travel Jess is like kind of rolling her eyes at myself because it was a very comfortable, like safe, a little bit like, I don't know, easy way to do this where I used to travel and like stay in a hostel and, like I did in 3-month homestay on my study abroad, like with a family in
You're
Nairobi.
not
And
20 anymore.
yeah, I'm not anymore. And like my brain would get so tired and my brain loves this stuff. So it's
Logistics.
feeding me, but it's also tiring, and I just couldn't get over, like, how great it was to be in another country in this era of all the apps and all the technology that's so helpful and, like yeah, and then to come back on the ship and have all the, like, comfort and ease and familiarity of all of that. I just, like, really, really liked this way of visiting new places, and I think especially because this was planned on a pretty short timeline, and I didn't get to do, like, my year and a half of research on, like, every
Yeah,
little
yeah.
thing, and I just kinda had to, like, hand it over to the tour like, I just picked a tour. We're just gonna do it, like,
Yeah.
we didn't know we were doing this 2 months ago. This is gonna be great, whatever happens. And it really was. It was fantastic. And I wanted like, doing the ship was as much of it it was kinda equal for me. Like, being on the ship was it's exciting trip, and then the port days and, like, the Barcelona time, I kinda lump into that too because we had 2 days in Barcelona, really. Yeah, it was all good. I it was fantastic. I have a friend through the Disney community stuff who was also on this sailing, and she was with her kids, and like really similar feedback because she went with her family and had her kids, but she would not like she was like this is a great way to do this and wouldn't hesitate to bring kids. Because that isn't an experience I've had, right? I didn't bring my kids yet, but I totally would. I felt like it was very smooth. And as like a leader of a travel group, it's a nice way to kind of take some of the burden off of you as a planner because you
Mhm.
don't have to pick a new restaurant in a new city. You don't have to pick a million different hotels. And if you work with a good travel planner, like Jenny can tell you all about what to do in Tokyo. Like that's what we're here for. But if you're going on your own, it is a lot, which was the experience I was having, right? Like I'm the leader of my own.
Yes, you are.
Having to pick, like, where are we gonna stay in Barcelona and Rome in this Cinque Terre? Like, now I have to pick which of the 5 villages even we wanna stay in. Like, there's just so many decisions, and when you do it this way, I am sleeping on the Disney Fantasy, I have my stateroom, I have my servers, my rotational dining is set up, it's gonna be good. Like, it's just I didn't even decide what I was eating at most of my meals, right? Like, I'd say, "Lucas, what's good?" And I'd just eat what he would tell me, and it was really nice. I love that for me. And if it wasn't good, I
Mhm.
just get something else because there's food everywhere and there's no, it's all included with what you've already paid. So I just like it was a relaxing vacation and I learned things. I saw new things. I did new things. Like I just am in love with this way of traveling.
Yeah, I love all of that. I like that it feels like an Italy taster. Like
Yes.
you got to see things and experience things, and now you know if you go back kind of a little bit about the area where you kind of want to be. Like it definitely gives you a starting point more so than if like you've never been to Italy and you're trying to figure it out.
And if you're doing a land tour, like you might want to just pick one area and stay there and this way you kind of do get to see multiple things. And like some of the itineraries, I mean, for next summer, these Mediterranean itineraries are out for Disney Cruise Line. And you can see, like, if you want to go see Greece, there are 7, 9, 12 night cruises. And you can start to see, like, this will give you a great, you don't have to just go to Athens for a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You can see so many different parts. And I think with cruising, like you might get to a place this is the beauty of it, right? Like a place that wasn't really on your radar might be your favorite place in the end. And so, yes, it's a sampler, but then you can go back and spend a week or 2 somewhere that you really fell in love with. And this is my experience. Hadn't thought about this before, but like one of my first Europe trip ever, actually, I went to Paris and Madrid on a high school trip when I was like a sophomore in high school or something. Like I've always been this way, right? And I took French, my family's French Canadian, like heritage and whatever. I didn't really like Paris. Maybe I would now, but I didn't really like Paris then. But I loved Madrid and I loved Spain. And now I've been back to Spain 2 more times after that. So, and I would have never really, it wasn't really on my radar. When I was 16, I was like, Paris will be like this beautiful. Wasn't it for me? But Spain, like Spain kind of has me. So,
I could see that about you. Though I do not know how this occurred, but in the past week I have fallen on the bed bug Paris TikTok.
no.
Yeah, like I've seen too many videos on TikTok with these poor like girls completely covered in bed bug bites. I was like,
That'll ruin your
like,
vacation.
yeah, they're like they're all over Paris. I'm like, is this a thing? Was that a thing? I did not know this was a thing. But
I know it's a city thing, right? Like, I know it's a thing in New York. I've known people who have really been through it's so rough. It's so disruptive to your life. Don't want that for anybody.
think about that.
Maybe someday I'll get back to
Yeah,
Paris.
no bed bugs.
Well, actually, I'll get to Paris. You know when I'll go
What?
is when I go to Disneyland Paris.
Yes, right?
So many people on this sailing were either doing Disneyland Paris, like North Americans that were flying to Europe for this sailing. It's
Yeah.
only a 5 night. You're probably like adding, most people are probably adding a little something on either end. A bunch of people did end up going to Disneyland Paris after the cruise or just before and then coming down for the cruise, which I thought was brilliant. It's good that I didn't have a lot of time because I would have been, like, scheming how to do that, but next time.
Let's do that next summer.
I'd love to go
Like
to
next
Disney.
summer, we're going to Alaska. 2 summers.
There you go.
Going to Alaska. Can't forget that. I'm gonna find some crabs.
It's a big world. There's so much. I mean, it's like it's exciting and
I know. There's so much to do and not enough time.
that
Not enough
that's
money.
and that's why, like, when this opportunity came up and it worked, it was like, "Yes, we should just go," you know? It's 2 port days. We're just gonna go
Yeah, you
because
said the price was right on this to,
you
like,
never
not
know.
pass up. Gotta do
Yeah,
it.
and I would say, like, don't rule this out for people, like, listening or watching. Don't rule it like, don't say no before you know what kinda because there are some great promos that come out, especially as you get closer to the sailings. I think
Mm,
it's rare, but it happened this summer that a bunch of these med itineraries and then the Norwegian fjords itineraries were some good deals, especially if you're willing to kind of roll the dice and do that GTY where they pick your room within a room category.
okay.
We had great luck with it, and it made me kind of want to keep my summer a little more open next year just to have the room to jump on it, like if it worked out. Like not overbook the kids in camp and stuff that you have to prepay, and then you feel like you are losing money if
Don't go,
change
yeah.
plans. Yeah, you never know. I mean, and that's not been the case in prior years, like, we always say that the best time to book a Disney cruise is as early as possible, like opening day, because the prices do generally go up, but this summer we saw a bunch of promos, and if you are feeling like you're interested it never hurts to, like, reach out to me or Jenny or any Litterini agent, like, anybody you're working with, and just ask for pricing because there's no obligation, it's just information for you. This is a great way to do it, and you didn't even have to book excursions, honestly, like, you coulda just walked around these ports or stayed on that ship. That ship was gorgeous, and when all the people were off it, you would have had your run of that adult-only space or yeah. Just there's so much to do on the ship, you could just do it for the cost of the sailing and not really add anything, and you would have had a great time.
No. Alright.
It's very doable, I think is, like, my big takeaway from this, like, this kind of, like, test run. Like, I want more people to do this and, like, feel open to it because it's a great experience and really made doing Europe easy. I don't speak Spanish or Italian, and we did great. It was
Yeah, that was my one of my first questions to you. Do they speak English on the boat? And you're like,
Yep.
"Yeah."
Yep. All the announcements, like, the cruise director was American, the assistant cruise director was British, and then the boat is so multilingual, like, there are crew members that speak every language, and kind of feels like how you feel at Disney. I mean, it does feel that way when you're in the parks too, like, there are cast members around who speak ASL and yeah, everything. Do it.
You make me wanna
All the
go.
Disney.
You make me wanna go.
Yeah, me too.
That sounds like a really good time. We'll just need all you guys listening, send us some questions if you want to know more, because Jess has now done it. She has it for you.
You can do it too. Go on trips.
Yeah.
You won't regret
Um,
it.
maybe next time we'll be checking in with Jenny about her trip.
Yes.
When you go on a trip again.
And pretty soon, well, just after this airs, the Halloween parties are going to be starting. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party will be starting. So we'll be talking Halloween
Oh
before you
man.
know it, too.
And y'all, check out these
Yes.
Halloween ones. And
And if you're going, like, check out the starfish ears. I love
yeah,
them.
these were my cruise years, but don't worry, I got Halloween ears.
I love the bow on those.
Spooky.
I like that.
Me too.
I
Me.
want to wear those on the Haunted Mansion. They just feel right.
I'm ready. I'm ready for
All
spooky
right.
season.
We're getting into holiday season, all the holiday fun activities and treats and things.
I gotta get with you and book myself some Christmas parties.
Can't believe it. 4 months from now, it's gonna be Christmas. It's wild.
Girl, why'd you have to put a number on it?
'Cause I'm excited.
Don't you worry, I got Christmas ones too.
I love it.
I didn't have easy change years for that one. I wasn't ready for that.
No, not yet. They're in the background, the red and green.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some back there. I got new ones coming. Right now, the Halloween ones were just put on Etsy.
Fun.
Mhm.
Festive.
Festive, very festive. All
All
right.
right, people, that's it for my first ever Mediterranean cruise. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Check us
See
out
you next week.
on our website, mouseearsmagicalchats.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok,
Whoa.
Pinterest, and
Whoa.
of course, YouTube. And listening to us on the actual podcast, old school now,
Good for driving.
very good for driving. You don't get to see our face and these lovely ears. You guys are missing out. If you're driving, you just miss my ears. All
If
right.
you're listening, then you can go on YouTube once you park, and then you can see the ears.
All right. Have a
All
good
right,
night,
bye.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye.